Chapter 71 International Opium Commission and Hans Geiger. By the time of 1906, people living in America were getting more comfortable. Due to the high humidity and temperature of the environment, it was difficult to work inside the factories. The printing industry was severely affected by this upheaval. Both the raw material and the manufactured goods became unsuitable. Bringing a solution to this situation, Willis Carrier developed the air conditioner. In 1908, American President Theodore Roosevelt appointed a commission to investigate opium. It was named the Opium Commission. Its first commissioner was Hamilton Wright, whose first duty was to organize the international meeting on opium. Also during this time, many machinery in Europe and America were operated by diesel combustion. In 1908, Henry Ford, an American industrialist, produced a low-cost and economical car that could burn diesel. The car was named Model T. And Daniel Hayes, an American who cleaned carpets as a job, who was looking for a way to avoid the discomfort caused by dust. He developed a vacuum using an electric motor. William Hoover, an industrialist, brought the invention and started manufacturing and selling vacuum cleaners. Also in February 1909, the first International Opium Commission was held in Shanghai, China, with the participation of 13 countries. USA Opium Commissioner Hamilton Wright and Bishop Henry Brent of the Philippines were the main characters of this meeting. And by 1910, the decision of the first International Opium Commission began to implement. Accordingly, the British Empire stopped the opium trade in India. It was also during this time that the information about the damage to the nose and bones caused by the use of cocaine extracted from the coca plant began to be disseminated for the first time. Refugees migrating from Mexico to Texas, USA created a song about the Mexican Revolution and smoking marijuana. The song is called La Cucaracha. Mexicans introduced marijuana to musicians of African descent by visiting jazz clubs in New Orleans. Descended from African slaves, these musicians began to create new musical styles with marijuana. And by this time, it had been discovered that the elements made of electrons. The investigation continued. The device developed by Englishman Henry Moseley was able to detect protons. In May 1911, the International Opium Commission met for the second time in The Hague, Netherlands. An agreement was made there for international drug control. It was called International Opium Convention. By 1911, the New York Times was a popular newspaper in New York State, America. In an article written by one of its writers is Mr. Wright, it is stated that America is the country that uses the most drugs among the countries in the world. He introduced that morphine is a very dangerous drug and stated that only 25% of Americans are addicted to it. Many American women have sex with Chinese after taking morphine, and Negroes use cocaine to sexually assault white women. This article by Mr. Wright was also an article that motivated people to stand up for and highlight the racial discrimination of people in America. On January 23, 1912, the first meeting of the International Opium Convention was held in The Hague, Netherlands. The agreement prepared there was signed by Germany, America, China, France, Great Britain, Italy, Japan, the Netherlands, Persia, Siam, and Portugal. According to the agreement, it agreed to prohibit the use, sale, manufacture, international trade, and distribution of opium related products, morphine, and heroin, and take necessary measures to control the use of cocaine. The convention did not include the use of hashish or hemp. By the last part of 1912, about 5,000 Americans had died from cocaine use. With the socialization of these statistics, the danger of cocaine use became even more evident. And in the same year, German Hans Geiger developed a device to detect radiation and measure radioactivity. Through that, it was possible to measure the amount of radiation emitted by elements such as uranium, radium, and thorium. The device invented by Hans Geiger was called Geiger counter.